Reading furnishes the mind only with materials of knowledge. It is thinking that makes what we read ours. I have always thought the actions of men the best interpreters of their thoughts. The key to true liberty lies in the pursuit of knowledge and reason. In the realm of ideas, our minds are boundless and unconquerable. Embrace the storms of life, for they reveal your strength and resilience. In the face of adversity, courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. New opinions are always suspected and usually opposed, without any other reason but because they are not common. The only defense against the world is a thorough knowledge of it. The sovereignty of the individual is the foundation of a just society. Education is the passport to a future where freedom thrives. Tyranny with a smile is still tyranny. Let us never forget to question authority. Your mistakes are not failures. They are stepping stones to wisdom and growth. The beauty of life lies not in the destination, but in the journey itself. Never underestimate the power of a kind word or a small act of compassion. We are like chameleons. We take our hue and the color of our moral character from those who are around us. Parents wonder why the streams are bitter, when they themselves poison the fountain. The greatest lessons are often found in the most unexpected places. Success is not measured by the heights you reach, but by the obstacles you overcome. You have the power to create your own happiness. It resides within you. The power of consent empowers both the governed and the government. A society that values diversity of thought will always flourish. The greatest gift we can give to future generations is the gift of intellectual curiosity. Being all equal and independent, no one ought to harm another in his life, health, liberty, or possessions. Education begins the gentleman, but reading, good company, and reflection must finish him. To love truth for truth's sake is the principal part of human perfection in this world, and the seed plot of all other virtues. The pen is mightier than the sword, for ideas have the power to reshape the world. The pursuit of truth requires both humility and courage. True strength is not in being invincible, but in finding the courage to be vulnerable. Revolt is the right of the people. No man's knowledge here can go beyond his experience. There is frequently more to be learned from the unexpected questions of a child than the discourses of men. The most valuable currency in life is not money. It is the quality of your relationships. Never be afraid to dream big. Your potential is limitless. Failure is not the end. It is a detour on the road to success. When knowledge is shared, progress becomes inevitable. Rights are not granted by society. They are inherent to every human being. The mind is the ultimate sanctuary where freedom cannot be shackled. To prejudge other men's notions before we have looked into them is not to show their darkness, but to put out our own eyes. All wealth is the product of labor. Individual rights and responsibilities walk hand in hand. The true measure of a just society lies in its treatment of the least privileged. The greatest gift you can give yourself is self-love and acceptance. The power to change your life lies in the choices you make every day. Our business here is not to know all things, but those which concern our conduct. What worries you masters you. Reverie is when ideas float in our mind without reflection or regard of the understanding. Few men think, yet all will have opinions. Hence, men's opinions are superficial and confused. The journey of self-discovery is the greatest adventure you'll ever embark upon. Let go of the past. It does not define your future unless you let it. Happiness is not a destination. It is a state of mind cultivated through gratitude. Embrace uncertainty, for it is the fertile ground where new opportunities grow. The secret to a fulfilled life is not in accumulating possessions, but in savoring experiences and connections. Change is the catalyst for growth. Let us embrace it with open minds. Equality is not sameness. It is the recognition of our inherent worth. The harmony of a society is a reflection of its respect for individual liberties. A person's worth is not determined by their circumstances, but by their character. Reason is the compass that guides us through the sea of ignorance. One unerring mark of the love of truth is not entertaining any proposition with greater assurance than the proofs it is built upon will warrant. New opinions are always suspected and usually opposed, without any other reason but because they are not already common. Nothing is in the intellect that was not first in the senses. There are 1,000 ways to wealth, but only one way to heaven. The strength of a society lies in the empowerment of its weakest members. A government's legitimacy rests on the consent of the governed. The pursuit of happiness begins with the liberation of the mind. Justice is not a destination, but an ongoing journey towards equality. Ignorance is the enemy of progress. Let us vanquish it with knowledge. The most precious of all possessions is power over ourselves. Personal identity depends on consciousness, not on substance. Who are we to tell anyone what they can or can't do? The end of law is not to abolish or restrain, but to preserve and enlarge freedom. The rights of one do not justify the oppression of many. Every individual possesses the potential for greatness. It is society's duty to nurture it. A just society builds bridges of understanding, not walls of division. Power should never be a tool of suppression, but a means for empowerment. Diversity enriches our perspectives, fostering a culture of empathy and understanding. The pursuit of truth requires an open mind and the willingness to challenge our beliefs. Education is the gateway to freedom, unlocking the shackles of ignorance.